The only excuse which capital punishment attempts to find is upon the theory that the criminal is past the power of reformation and his life is a constant menace to the community. If, however, he is mentally unbalanced, irresponsible for his acts, there can be no more inhuman act conceived of than the willful sacrifice of his life. So thoroughly is that principle grounded in the law that all civilized society surrounds human life with a safeguard which prevents the execution of a criminal who is insane, even if sane at the time of his criminal act. Should he become insane after its commission, the law steps in and protects him during the period of his insanity. But lynch law has no such regard for human life. Assuming for itself an absolute supremacy over the law of the land, it has time and again dyed its hands in the blood of men who were imbeciles. 2 or 3 noteworthy cases will suffice to show with what inhuman ferocity irresponsible men have been put to death by this system of injustice. An instance occurred during the year 1892 in Arkansas, a report of which is given in full in the Arkansas Democrat, published at Little Rock in that state on the 11th day of February of that year. The paper mentioned is perhaps one of the leading weeklies in that state, and the account given in detail has every mark of a careful and conscientious investigation. The victims of this tragedy were a colored man named Hamp Biscoe, his wife, and a 13-year-old son. Hamp Biscoe, it appears, was a hard-working, thrifty farmer who lived near England, Arkansas, upon a small farm with his family. The investigation of the tragedy was conducted by a resident of Arkansas named R.B. Carries, a white man who furnished the account to the Arkansas Democrat over his own signature. He says the original trouble which led to the lynching was a quarrel between Biscoe and a white man about a debt. About 6 years after Biscoe preempted his land, a white man made a demand of $100 upon him for services in showing him the land and making the sale. Biscoe denied the service and refused to pay the demand. The white man, however, brought suit, obtained judgment for the $100, and Biscoe's farm was sold to pay the judgment.